I was faced with a choice which I never should have had.
She was crying like I had never heard a woman cry before in my life.
And I just cried for weeks and weeks. Everything reminded me of a baby.
And I kept trying to get up from the table and look to see what was in that jar.
I was dealing with the loss of my unborn child and I didn't even know it.
I believe that my life was spared that night just so that I could be here right now and say abortion hurts women.
Whisper, be silent no more.
Welcome to Faces of Abortion. I'm your host, Cindy Collins, and today we have a very special co-host, Molly White. Welcome, Molly, to Faces of Abortion again. We know that you were the co-host for the first 2 seasons of Faces of Abortion, and it's just so great to have you with us again.
Thank you, Cindy, and I am so glad to be back here. I've missed being on the show, and it's such a wonderful opportunity to tape some more shows for our audience, and I look forward to this season and all the guests that we're going to be having on the show.
I know, and that you're a part, again, you've never really left. And we're going to be hearing today from Chrissy in her own words, and also Monica, our in-studio guest, and just some really great interviews and just some great conversations with our guest today. But right now, would like to go ahead and listen to Chrissy in her own words.
Hi, my name's Chrissy, and I found myself in a crisis pregnancy situation when I was 18 years old. My boyfriend and I had started dating, and shortly thereafter I became pregnant. I went to him and explained the situation, and we both felt that it was best that we go to our parents and we take this to them. So I went to my parents and I explained the situation. Because of them having such high hopes for me to go on to college, and I was a straight A student in school and a cheerleader and all of that, they just felt like this would ruin my future. And so their recommendation was that I terminate the pregnancy. My boyfriend and I agreed to that, so we moved forward to make an appointment at our local abortion facility. I went there, went through the process of having abortion. I was put to sleep. Don't really remember much from that, but I do remember leaving there and just feeling sad at the choice that I had made, but in my heart feeling like it was a woman's right to make this decision, and so I moved forward from there. A few years later, we were still dating, which is actually is quite unusual. We found ourselves about 6 months off from our wedding we were planning, and I became pregnant again. At that time, I immediately remember feeling as though that I loved this child and I wanted this child this time. I went to him and explained that I was pregnant, and due to the situation of a wedding being so close, he said we really probably should terminate this pregnancy. I can't imagine you being 6 months pregnant at this huge wedding that we're planning. So I remember struggling with that for a couple of weeks and really tossing it around, and at some point I began to spot and recognize that this could quite possibly be a miscarriage. We went to the abortion clinic, and as I was there, which they don't normally ever do, they offered to do an ultrasound so that I could see if there was a heartbeat on my baby. At that moment, I really recognized the Lord was giving me a choice. Either I was going to see if there was life and continue with that life, or I was going to take the life of my child again. I chose to take the life of my child a second time. And from there, I moved forward and really didn't give it a whole lot of thought. Years later, after my husband and I were married and we had children, I really felt the Lord impressing on my heart that choice of abortion that I had made in my past. Quickly beyond that, he really broke me through a Sanctity of Life time period in 2006. I just became broken over what I had done, almost had a breakdown, repented of that, and asked the Lord, what would you do with this, Lord? And he quickly brought me to the Modesto Pregnancy Center, where I went through a healing Bible study called Forgiven and Set Free. I came through that 3 months a healed woman, and just looking for opportunities for the Lord to use me in whatever way that He saw fit. I quickly thereafter spoke at their annual banquet that they had in front of 300 people, then went on to speak in the schools, sharing my testimony in hopes that I could help other young women not make the terrible choice of abortion and go through the pain that I had been through. Not long after that, my pastor asked if I would speak before 7,000 at our Easter services. So I then went on to share my testimony at my church and offer the Bible study that I am now a national trainer for, which is Surrendering the Secret. I started a Bible study there, and that's been ongoing since 2008. In the process of those years, there's probably been 40 to 50 women that have been healed and are now walking in freedom. And I believe that we're an army and we're going forward. And this is what the Lord is calling us to do. So I know that through the poor choices that I made as a young woman, the Lord has taken that and He has turned it. I say it is beauty for ashes. He has taken the ashes of abortion and He has made something beautiful, which is His healing that He offers and extends. So if you're a woman out there and you're struggling with this choice of abortion, there is healing and it's waiting for you. So please contact us, and we are here for you. We love you, and we want to extend our hand and the hand of the Lord through us. His grace can heal you.
Welcome back to Faces of Abortion. You've just watched Chrissy's testimony on the effect of abortion, in fact 2 abortions that Chrissy had, and how she felt that pressure to abort. If that sounds like you, and maybe you're in a pregnancy situation right now and you're feeling pressure, or you may still be suffering from that pain of abortion that was not your decision, we want you to call the National Helpline for Abortion Recovery at 1-866-482-LIFE. There is someone on the other end of that line that wants to hear from you and has helpful resources, guidance, that has also gone through abortion. And I know, Molly, that helpline has been so important to so many of our viewers in the healing process, but also, like Chrissy, you know, if that would have been available for her to receive help in her time of need.
Right. She obviously didn't want the abortions when it started, and she really buckled under pressure from her mother and her fiance for the first abortion, and then again under the second abortion, facing an upcoming wedding, and even though she had the ultrasound and saw her child, she went ahead and chose the abortion, and she even had said that she had bonded to that child already. So we know that she had to suffer tremendously afterwards.
She did, and you know, it's sometimes our natural tendency that we want to please those that are around us, please those that we love, and wanting to listen to that guidance. And in a very vulnerable moment, we know that during pregnancy, hormones are increasing, and progesterone, you know, all of that. And so the guidance that those give around us is so important, so critical. And as we saw with Chrissy, it was a matter of life or death.
Right. And she, like many women, what pregnant women need is support and encouragement, and that then they won't have a problem going through with that pregnancy. But